Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Of course, back here at Randall. We got a pretty exciting video to do. I know we're seeing a lot of questions with the products, but also how to find customers, how to bring new products to market. So we're gonna do a bunch of things in this video. Probably gonna have a part two, coming up. But anyway, first things first, we'll kick it off. Randall, how are you?
I'm doing well. You know, we got to do a part two because, once we get talking, I can't stop. I'm too excited.
The passion, just flows through your veins, and it's great. It's very visible, obviously, on video, but awesome. I know we're kicking it off. I know you already have a deck ready. We'll run through it, kind of intro the product. So very high level, of course. Don't want to get too crazy into the weeds, but I'm sure I'll throw it to you, and we'll just go through it. I'll push questions as we go and see where things go.
Yeah, I wanted to throw together a deck, and one, out of respect for you and some of the people that follow you. It's complex though, right? Like, whenever you're trying to do something transformational, there's so much going on. I get the question and I'm not insulted at all. Like when people go like, okay, I love it. What do you do? Like, people get, they can't help but get excited, but then they start thinking like, I don't really actually know what's going on. I mean, it's like, what does Microsoft do anymore? I mean, they do everything. And so, when you're trying to really disrupt a market, you kind of got to step back to really understand, what we're doing. So I'm going to walk through this deck real fast. And I promise I won't take too much time. I'm going to share my screen. And the backdrop to this is kind of, what I like to say is, we've talked about this before. Multi-screen as a service is our cloud platform. Like that's the end all be all. That's the umbrella buzzword for what we do. It's MaaS. So really what MaaS is endeavoring to be is the Internet of Experiences. It's a relatively new term. I think everybody's more familiar with Internet of Things. But in this case, I'm going to explain to you kind of what Internet of the Experiences are in our context. And so, as we've talked about before, the evolution of engagement has changed over time. When we first got our start, we were building mobile applications. We were pivoting large brands off of web onto mobile. And so really all that was let me shrink your desktop experience down to a size of a mobile phone. And then, that lasts for about 10 years. Well, right now we're seeing another transformational shift into digital transformation. People kind of go, well, what does that mean? Well, it's just having a mobile application is no longer good enough. And digital transformation, kind of in the age of COVID, has accelerated the adoption curve. So this idea of how do I get more out of a mobile device to engage my customers is only exacerbated by something like COVID, where now everybody's freaking out about going outside. They're freaking out about being social. People are trying to figure out how to return to work. They're trying to figure out how to open their hotel back up or open their restaurants back up. And so it's just like when we implemented TSA after 9/11. Some of this is just getting people comfortable being social again. And so that's digital transformation. And it plays such a vital role in navigating that customer journey and tech enabling that customer journey in a post-COVID-19 world. And so we've seen that adoption curve truncate. But the reality is, if we're being honest, we are very disconnected in a connected world. Like, think about the last time you walked into a Best Buy or a grocery store. It's not a very technical experience. Maybe you cross an RF signal to open the door to walk in. Maybe you swipe a credit card when you leave. But other than that, I mean, I don't know about you, but there's no holograms. There's no, cool things, personalizing to me. No one's scanning my retina to determine what my buying history is. Like, I've been seeing this in Hollywood for a very long time, and damn it, no one's made it real. Well, guess what? We're making it real. Like, that's literally what Phunware was designed to do. And so when you think of Phunware, think of the Internet of Experiences. So back in the 80s and 90s, we had this kind of digital revolution. That gave way to the Internet in the mid-90s to late 90s. Then you had kind of the Internet of Things over the last kind of decade. Well, how do we jump to digital transformation? We're missing something. The Internet of Things is just the technology. It's just the access points. It's a bunch of hardware. I drive down the street and I keep seeing these random towers and I'm like, it's 5G. You go into a building and you'll see, little Cisco access points all over the place. That's the Internet of Things. Every Alexa smart speaker, smart lighting. But so what? Like, I'm not doing anything with any of that. I see it. I can see it with my own eyes, but that's just hardware. That's the Internet of Things. How does it reach me as a customer? That's what we're talking about to get to digital transformation, and that's what we're talking about when we're talking about an Internet of Experiences. That's what Phunware does. the middleware, that software right between the technology and the consumer. So the consumer is informing their real world experience by accessing all that new technology that's being put out into the market. And so that's what's really exciting for us. Like, just like the internet, was kind of around for a long time, but technology didn't catch up until the 90s, where the personal computer was cheap enough and everybody could now access it. Then you started having applications get built on top of it, like Google, that got more out of it. Well, we're seeing the same thing now that'll underpin digital transformation, where we needed all these, access points. We needed really good Wi-Fi inside a building. We needed really good 5G coverage. And then we need a platform that can also protect your data, your privacy, and basically guide you through that tech-enabled journey without kind of infringing on your rights as a user, because that's really important to a lot of people. So we spent over $100 million building this platform to deliver that Internet of Experiences right in the middle. And so that's multi-screen as a service. It is exactly what you saw in Minority Report when Tom Cruise was walking through the mall and advertisements were basically personalizing to him. It's what you saw with Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future, where all of a sudden holograms are appearing. That's literally what we're able to do through a mobile device. And so whether it's having that kind of contextually aware engagement, so finding out how to get the right content to the right user on the right screen at the right time in the right place in order for you to do something that's valuable to you. But let's be honest, we're a B2B company. What we're really trying to do is drive profitable behavior. That's game changing, whether it's just software or what we're even trying to start doing now, where we're introducing certain blockchain components into it, not only one, to address that issue of controlling your data and owning your data, which we can do with our blockchain-enabled data exchange, or the ability to incentivize those interactions. Watch this video, go to this point of interest, take this action, refer this friend, and now I can do these micro incentives using a cryptocurrency to be able to reward you. Or if you're a business and you don't want to deal with blockchain, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. No problem. That's the beauty of an extensible platform. We have a bunch of different features depending on what our business needs, and we can actually deliver that easily over the cloud on our platform. And that's what we're trying to do here. So think about Amazon. What Amazon did for cloud services with AWS, we want to do for mobile engagement and digital transformation with MaaS. And so it's very simple. We're not a mobile application development firm. Yes, we built the first NFL app. Yes, we built the first NASCAR app. We built and maintained most of Fox's mobile application portfolio. We're really good at building apps, but that's not how we scale as a business. How we scale as a business is taking all of that institutional learning, being able to allow new businesses to standardize on our platform, just like you would standardize on AWS or just like you would standardize on Salesforce for your CRM. We'll take all the guesswork out of it. You want to enable, location-aware marketing. You want to enable the ability to do, seamless content management. You want to enable the ability to help your, whether it's your employees return to work or patients have a tech-enabled experience to manage the continuum of care. It doesn't matter what vertical you're in. We're across all industries, and we can deliver that rich engagement in a mobile-first world that's quickly becoming mobile-only. So if you think about us, it's no different than you would see if you go to Microsoft's website or Amazon's website. We have products and solutions. Products, easy to use, software development kits. You can integrate them into your existing mobile application if you don't need us to build it. You can actually take all of these, if you go to, GitHub, you can rip all this right off, sample code, sample apps. You go to training.phunware.com, docs.phunware.com, or look at our Phunware Phenom certification program. We have everything that you would expect from a cloud platform. All the training, all the materials, all the collateral, all the products. But guess what? That's for kind of, the do-it-yourselfers. People that actually maybe have an engineering team, know a thing or two, can take a software development kit, an SDK, or an API, and get all the benefits and functionality from it. What if you don't? What if you're an off-the-shelfer? Great. We have solutions for that. So by industry, we can actually have an optimized, out-of-the-box solution for you. You want to have the, patient experience in healthcare. You want to have the shopper experience in retail. You want to have the student experience for a smart campus or the employee experience for smart workplace. No problem. out of the box. So normally, if you're an app dev shop, which we are not, you could have two Freds in a shed pounding away at a keyboard, and they might give you an app that's going to crash within a week after about 6 or 12 months of fits and starts. We can deploy an enterprise-level app that's meant to be interoperable out of the box within weeks. Normally, the bottleneck is, approval guidelines from, Google or Apple. And so this is something that we've gotten very good at rinse and repeating. You get all the functionality you need. And guess what? If you want to iterate on top of that, or you want specific integrations, so let's say we're doing a hospital. Say, great, we want your out-of-the-box, it's called a digital front door in healthcare. We want you and your mobile application to control the entire patient experience. But hey, we're already, using this parking management company to manage all our parking, and we're using this productivity solution for our employees, and we're going to use this company for all our secure access, so we can, and we want to be able, we have badges to open the doors. Great. We have integrations to all of those. You can now use your phone to open a door. We'll integrate the API for your parking management system, and we're going to bring all those features, all those solutions under one roof. So it's one mobile application to rule them all. But it's not a stupid passive mobile application. It's a proactive digital transformation-based mobile application that gets the most out of that user experience. And so think about that example I was using with the TSA. So many people wouldn't fly after 9/11. You needed the TSA to get them comfortable flying again. We're seeing the same thing in healthcare right now. Nobody wants to do elective surgeries because they don't want to go to the hospital. But a lot of it's kind of silly. You're not going into the, you don't need to be going into the ER and passing a bunch of people coughing in order to do a total knee replacement. We can actually use our platform to route you through a COVID-free corridor. So before you actually need your test, you can verify that you've gotten a COVID test, park in this parking garage, and we'll literally guide you with your phone through a corridor that will go right to your appointment, and you're not going to come in contact with anybody seeing COVID patients. So a lot of it's about just getting people comfortable being social again and using your phone as a mobile concierge to help guide you through that kind of complex journey. And so how do we work with customers? Again, this is kind of this idea of off-the-shelfers, industry-specific app solutions, or do-it-yourselfers, a series of SDKs and APIs that you can license from us. That's the key for dealing with us, because it's the key for dealing with any software as a service business. You start with a license. You license our platform. That's why we're seeing gross margins over 70%. That's why we have recurring multi-year contracts, because we are not a service shop. We are not a low-margin, grind it out, build a mobile application. Forget about that. We've built this already. We spent 9 figures doing it, and it's amazing. And so that platform, you license that platform first. And then if you want to integrate some things on top of that, we have kind of a menu of services that you can deliver that, and we'll put those in no problem, because we've integrated with just about everybody, and we're hardware agnostic. So all of this happens kind of like magic when you're working with us. We're just giving you the best possible experience on the other side of this thing. And so, again, we have about 3 different flavors that we see when we see customers. So a basic approach would be that kind of out-of-the-box optimized solution. Call it, $500,000 to usually, $750,000 for a total contract value, somewhere between 1 to 5 years. Again, the majority of that is a license, or we see this kind of mass services. That's where we're doing those integrations. So that might be like one integration. Let's say we were back to that hospital example. All they wanted to integrate was their EHR. We've integrated with Cerner, Epic, and we just do one. Fine, no big deal. But let's say they wanted to integrate with their parking management system. They wanted to integrate with their productivity suite. They wanted to be able to book a conference room. They wanted to be able to do all the content management, to be able to do all their discharge protocols. It gets a little more complex. So that kind of average deal size grows to closer to $1 million to $1.5 million. And normally, you're actually spending more money to kind of get that deal going. So you're usually looking at a longer contract term as well, which is great for us. Again, that's recurring revenue that you'll see on our financials as a backlog and deferred revenue. And then occasionally you get people who say, look, I want the platform. I know I need the platform, but I want to build something world-class. I want to build something that no one's ever seen before. And so, politics aside, it's just a coincidence that it's Inauguration Day. But we did the Trump app, and I'm not ashamed to have done it. We pitched our stuff to the Democrats. We pitched our stuff to the Republicans. the Trump-Hain camp ran with it. They were like, give me some of that. And if you compare and contrast the Trump app to the Biden app, it's night and day. And that's why we had millions of downloads and Biden had, tens of thousands of downloads. But those are bigger deals. And so you're getting the best of our platform and then the best of our mind share and understanding all the gamification, all the engagement, kind of tools and tricks and software code that we've already built. And we'll integrate that into basically more of a bespoke application for the right price, of course. And so, but that's not the only thing, so they're a marquee customer, obviously, but we've been working with marquee customers for a long time. And so, from NASCAR to NFL, NBC Sports, and healthcare, obviously it's a big vertical because everybody's trying to make that journey less complex through technology. But airports, hotels, stadiums, you name it, anywhere you've seen a bunch of customers gather and you want to demystify that journey with technology, they come to us. I mean, this is where this is who you need to be coming to. We're the ones you need to be talking to. But I don't want to build out a direct sales force. I don't want to carry the cost. I don't want to take the time. I want to scale. I want to scale fast. Like, I want to ramp this company as fast as possible. Obviously, it's the best for the company. It's the best for our shareholders. And so we want to sell through our partners. Having a channel strategy is key to what we're doing going into 2021. Again, when I talk about training.phunware.com, docs.phunware.com, the Phenom certification program, all of that is designed so that we can be a great partner to a channel partner. So that when a channel like a hardware vendor or a software vendor or a systems integrator or a carrier sees Phunware, that Internet of Experiences, as a natural upsell to the Internet of Things. So if I've just deployed Wi-Fi throughout an entire building and I want it to be a true smart building, why would I not upsell them and just sell them Phunware on top of it? Like, I just gave you amazing coverage. Now let me give you an amazing mobile experience so that all of your tenants can get more out of this great feature set. So now you can do occupancy management, contact tracing, book a conference room, find an open desk, open every door with your phone. That's such an easy upsell if you're Cisco or Aruba or Acuity and you're doing smart lighting, or you're Salto and doing locks, or you're HID and doing access control, or you're just like a Tech Data or a Sirius or a Diversified, and you're there to try to find technologies that are driving digital transformation for others. And so these partners are great for us, but that it takes some time. You got to educate them about what you do. You got to train them. You got to get on their price book. You want their salespeople to be quota carrying reps on your behalf. And so that's how we start ramping fast, is once we're on their paper and they can sell it and they feel confident selling it, which we think that it's such an easy upsell, like I said, I think we can begin really ramping sales fast. And so we just hired our VP of Channel Partnerships back in November. She's hit the ground running. We've had a lot of press over the last year about these partnerships that we've been signing up. So a lot of these are in flight. And so we're really excited about some of the more strategic conversations we're having about how to get our platform into other channels, how to think about it almost more like a bundle. And that's where, Phunware, I think, really, really takes off. So we're excited about that. And quite frankly, some of our customers even would be great channels. If we're building a smart workplace solution for, a company that does a lot of these things around the world, so if I'm a Johnson Controls or I'm a Siemens or I'm one of these just big monolithic, technology companies, and they're trying to get a return to work solution, for example, and we deploy that, a natural conversation is, hey, this badass smart workplace solution you just designed, can we actually white label that and sell that to all our customers? And the answer is like, hell yeah, you can. And so we need a couple of those dominoes to fall, and it's lights out and it's off to the races. And I know before we started, I was talking about this. It's shocking to me how many people just never seem to learn. We get taught our entire life, buy low, sell high. And then we spend the rest of our life FOMOing into stuff and buying high and then freaking out and selling low or trying to catch a falling knife. And I'm like, or even worse, it's like, I wish I would have known. those are the things that break my heart. I mean, because I'm doing it right now. I look at Amazon at over 3,000, and I think,
so stop the share screens. We can laugh about a few. Obviously, you've got a great, great example. Absolutely crushed the presentation. First things first. Thank you so much. And you talk about it, and it's funny. When you talk to anyone today, and you just said Amazon, and without even looking at their share price, but how crazy is it to think that 10 years ago, people were saying, I don't know if Amazon will become what it is today, or Apple won't become what it is today with their phones. To, a lot of people that are younger, it was almost a no-brainer. And now you look at this, and, it's incredible. Even some of those clients you listed, I didn't even know you had like huge names, even like Toronto Pearson, being from Toronto myself. Obviously, like, this is a huge airport, massive airport in North America, and you listed off a ton of partners, and I think that was awesome. Like, these companies are prepping for what's to come, and of course, those aren't easy deals to get. Getting $1 million deal or $3 million deal or whatever it is are not easy. So it's fantastic, and you guys are able to deliver. So like you're saying about Amazon, this is where things are going. Look at where apps are slowly moving towards. And you say it there, talking about grocery stores, hospitals, a lot of good examples. Whether you have, like, for me, my mom's a nurse. I think about all the different, ways that they don't use technology but also do, and it's like, whoa, like, you think it'd be so easy, but that's where the world's going, one step at a time. But amazing.
I want you to ask your mom about this, because I know a couple of friends that are nurses, and it's one of the things we're working about now. And I'll preview kind of this idea of talking about product next. But it's such an exciting time. So the average employee at Phunware has been here 6 years. Like, we blow averages out of the water, because to keep an engineer somewhere for 6 years is a big deal, and it's because we're working on really cool stuff. So everything from turning your phone's location-based services into AR, which is super cool for discovery, but also think about, like, nursing. OR nurses are always told to leave the OR to go find stuff that the surgeon needs during a surgery. And surgeons are ruthless. They'll be like, go get me this widget. And, like, the nurse is like, I don't know where that widget is. And he's like, go get it. And they're out and they're running down the hallway trying to find stuff, and they literally don't know where to find it. There's an inventory management system, and then there's an operational OR, and they're not connected in any way. You should be able to leave the OR, type in, or even better yet, say widget in your phone, and your phone should immediately, just like Waze or just like, Google Maps, direct you straight to the shelf in the drawer to where you can find that widget. We can do that right now, and talks about doing that right now. And so that kind of, using technology to serve you at a time and place that it's most valuable to you is huge, but it's a lot of work. And so you have this opportunity right now, and we think it's a great entry point for investors. It's absurd what you can get into Phunware at right now. Like, a lot of people don't know this about Phunware. We were raising private rounds up until going public, up and to the right every single time. We haven't been valued this low since 2012. And it was like our Series B round. It's absurd. And so for net new investors, we're a much better off company now than we were in 2012. But you get this really cool entry point as an investor now. And, what are we trying to do? It's not minuscule. If you look at our press release we just put out, we doubled the coverage of our location-based services at Baptist Health, South Florida, from up to 6 million square feet of coverage across their entire healthcare campus. It's over $1 million contract value. Think about that. Again, that's Internet of Experience. So I'm creating that software layer between technology and consumers. I have no way to do anything with location or context as a consumer unless I have that software layer that allows my mobile device to talk to the technology that somebody else installed. And so if we could just do that all day long, that's like almost 100% gross margin, because it's just licensing our software. Now, again, if you want an application on top of that because you don't know how to really engage that consumer with a rich user experience, we'll deliver that to you either out of the box or we'll design it bespoke for you. However, if you want to do that yourself, by all means, do it. That's the beauty of having a platform. We'll license you our location tech. We'll license you our content management. We'll license you our analytics. And then you can just run on top of that. But we're that interface that brings it all together. And so, I couldn't be more excited about what we're doing. We're going to crush it. We have an amazing team, amazing leadership. The leadership has known each other on average for over 9 years. And I always tell people, bet on the jockey, and, we don't know how to fail. So this is going to be exciting.
Yeah. No, awesome. Look, an amazing presentation. There will definitely be a part 2 coming up. I know there's going to be a ton of questions. You are looking to do a Q&A video coming up, so I'd love anyone to put questions to us, about anything about the company, obviously products, how you guys find clients, which I want to ask in a second here, but we'll go into more detail. Lots of stuff to cover, only our first couple of videos here. So up to you, Randall. Do you want to cut it here, or did you want to do how you guys find customers, little portion?
It's up. We can tease it if you want. I mean, because I think it goes in line, and I'll do a deeper dive next time. And I have a couple ideas about how we can kind of really unpack that, which is exciting. And I'll talk a little bit about kind of our broader ecosystem, because it all does tie together. But the teaser is this: we want customers to find us. That's how you really begin to scale. Like nobody really goes and thinks like, okay, I'm going to go evaluate, file sharing companies. Like, it's like, I'm going to use Dropbox or Box, or Google Drive, and I'm done. Like, we want to be that top of mind. Like, hey, I need this. And so I need Phunware. And so that's what happened with, Baptist Health South Florida, quite frankly. So Presidio is our partner there. They already have the customer. They reached out to us because they know we have the best location software, the best software to get the most out of technology in place so that they can deliver a tech-enabled experience. That's what we want. Like, we want people to come to us, and we want those partners to come to us and say, look, we need that, versus us out there constantly prospecting. So yes, we want to put as much content out there. We want to explain what we do to people. We want to go to developer conferences. We want to go to, customer conferences where there's like a CDO or a CMO, people that are really about like, how do I engage my consumers in the digital era? But the reality is we want to be able to set up our channel in such a way that partners are educated so that they are true channels, so that they're out there selling, we're supporting them. They have all the collateral, all the training, all the videos, and when they need something, we're order takers. And that's what a platform is designed to do. It's designed to be delivered in that manner, and that's how you see hockey sticks in these technology companies. You want to be like an Atlassian or a Twilio. You want to be one of these companies where you don't have to have such a high touch with customers. They know what they need, they know how to deploy it, and they know how to get it from you in a very rinse and repeatable way. So that's really what we spent so much time and so much money doing, and we're there. Like, going into 2020, that's where we felt like we were finally ready to commercialize this platform. We've got a lot of good, one-offs and use cases, but I'll leave you with one example. We had a hardware vendor that was just put in Wi-Fi. They were looking at, upgrading that Wi-Fi, but the company was looking at possibly using a competitor. They said, we got the steak. The Wi-Fi is the steak. We need sizzle. We need to bring you into this deal, and we want you to sell that you've already integrated with us, and that we can deliver a smart workplace solution so they could see why they need this upgrade, because now we'll get all this cool functionality. We were there. Closed that deal in like less than a month. And so, went down, met with, and we think about who do we sell to. This was a director of workplace technology. So they thought they were going into a meeting just to talk about Wi-Fi. What a snooze fest. That's boring. Like, as long as I can log in, I'm good. But then we showed them find a friend, contact tracing, room management. How do I use my phone to unlock my doors? Now all of a sudden they're like, everybody's asking questions. Like, this is sexy stuff. But that's where, we want to be when we're talking to kind of customers, is them bringing us into opportunities, because we're the sexy part of it. We're the thing that makes sense. We're the thing that Hollywood has been showing forever, that gets people excited. And we've just finally built a platform that can realize the promise.
Awesome. No, look, again, thanks for the presentation. You kill this stuff. Holy, definitely not your first time. And I know the people watching will definitely appreciate your passion and your understanding. So fantastic. That was a great teaser. And, the list of clients, I invite anyone who has questions, I'm sure we can talk about, some of the stuff that Phunware did and, maybe some direct examples and some cool stuff. If you are thinking of an industry and, how could maybe something happen? We would love to talk through some potential examples because that's where I think there's a lot of fun, emphasis on fun, of course.
Mark that for part 3. Let's do an actual live war game. Like somebody ask a question, give me a challenge that they're facing in their business, and let's figure out how our platform would address it and tech enable it. And I'll tease you. I'll give you a little bit of a story next time on how we did this for the Atlantis at the Bahamas. And how we did it, how we kind of thought about doing it for Carnival as well. So there's a lot of interesting insight when people just think, I have this problem, figure out how to solve it with a mobile platform, and we'll be able to solve it. You got a problem, I'll solve it.
Oh, awesome. Well, we're leaving it there, with a great teaser, it's a song quote, partial rapper, you must do it all. It's incredible. So, Randall, thanks so much for joining. That was a great presentation, great little teaser, and look forward to our next video.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you. Have a good one.